isn't Resident Evil, but I'm still waiting for 5. I don't feel like playing 6 right now, just to record a video to talk about this. And that would be a discussion on
light into being.
The Resident Evil fan base. They've always irked me, you know. It gets me upset when they say stuff like, you know, I've been a Resident Evil fan for so and so long, and Capcom doesn't know how to make a good game anymore.
3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
And that they're just annoying, you know, and that's all they do is just gripe about Capcom doesn't make zombies anymore, and I don't Capcom doesn't make zombie games anymore. I miss my zombies and I miss my ink ribbons. And I'm like, you do know, you dense idiots, that Resident Evil was never a game built around zombies. I mean, it has zombies in it, you know, but the game was never meant to be just about zombies. And I guess that's the main thing that annoys me about the Resident Evil fan base, is they never shut up about zombies and ink ribbons. Like they act like that was what made Resident Evil. Yes, it made it a survival horror game, but you have to dig past elementary school concepts of plot to understand what the game is about. The game is about a corporation called Umbrella making biological weapons to sell on the black market and to countries to use in wars. That's what they meant it for. The zombies in the first 3 games were not made by them on purpose. It was an offset. The first game, the zombies, if you can read the manuals throughout the game, they had a leak in the mansion and it got out, and of course what happened, they started freaking out like, oh, we messed up big time, guys. We messed up big time.
No one can hide.
They let the virus got out. It infected the staff it infected the staff in the well, I should have just stayed back. They got me right there. But it infected the staff basically. And so
where the fuck is everybody?
we had to go.
The guy's like skating all over my nutsack. I mean,
Thank you.
are you just please? We have to go. There's like fucking 5 of them on the point, and you know, they defeat my.
And so I'm sorry I got quiet for a second there. But
Did not he just record all?
Teleporter online.
Experience tranquility.
Behind us. Oh shit, dude. Turret is on the payload. Did somebody catch that?
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by this. This game, it takes
I will follow my path.
it takes so much to pay attention in this game, and I can't hear everything. But anyway, the second game, you know,
You are shielded.
the virus had leaked to the city, and they were trying their best to stop it,
My teleporter is offline.
but they couldn't. You know, that was the whole point in the game.
No, thank you. Come again. Thank you very much.
Turret deployed.
I'm so sorry, but anyway,
The payload has reached the
Fuck is the name? Nice. He just grabbed that nigga out his hole. Good job.
Intruder
Good job.
detected.
Thank you.
Right there. That's great. I'm a healer.
Turret in place.
But yeah. Okay, enough pausing. I'm dead, so it's gonna take me a while to get back. But
My defenses are weak.
yeah, the game, you know, the second and third game were based around zombies and the virus leak because of Birkin. He caused the outbreak. And the whole point of the games, the first three, the characters had no idea the virus was doing that, you know. They had no idea the virus was, you know, had got that far. That's the whole point of the game, you know. It's like, oh, okay, this virus has come out and affected the city, but Jill didn't know. You know, Chris didn't know when they went to the mansion. They thought it was just a routine, you know, our teammates have been kidnapped. What's going on? Let's try to find them. And lo and behold, you get zombies. That was the main thing about the game. They got zombies. They didn't know better. But people act like that was the whole point. But no, the whole point was for the biological weapons. You know, they were trying to sell them. And
You are shielded.
that was the whole point of the game. They were trying to. Umbrella was making biological weapons, and but fans act like that was like the zombies were the main point. Like without zombies, it can't be Resident Evil. But again, that was never the point of the game. It was supposed to be about Umbrella, you know.
My teleporter is offline.
And ow. And so I'm sorry, I'm dying so much 'cause I can't hear. But yeah, Umbrella was making biological weapons. They sold them. He's dead. Why would you stand there for
It's
that?
an illusion.
The payload has reached the checkpoint.
Yeah, they.
Come on, let's bring it together.
I know you saw me die, right?
Oh, you hear that? Watch out for that gun!
But I just read on so many forums that the Resident Evil fans get mad at Capcom when the game doesn't have zombies and it's not spooky. But I guess the whole point for me is just trying to make them understand the game was not just meant to be always about zombies. You know, they were an offset product of what Umbrella was producing. You know, they couldn't stop that. It was an accident. And the games focus on that, you know. The games are like, hey, this is what we've been making. This is what happens when you have an accident. You just have zombies. But so you had zombies, and they messed a lot of stuff up in the game. In Resident Evil, like 4 and 5, by that point, like everybody says, that's when it started going action. That's the reason the characters by that point knew what to expect in the game. They knew what they didn't think it was a game, you know, but they.
The payload is approaching its destination.
Oh, let's break it! Damn! Oh, hey!
But they knew what was going. By 4 and 5, the characters knew. You know, the first 3 games they didn't have any idea what was going on, but they knew past 3, like 4, 5, and 6. They knew what was going on, and so that's why it was action oriented. Because they actually knew what to expect from then on. But people, like I said, for me it's just the annoyance that people think the game was always meant to be just about, you know, the zombies and stuff like that when it's not. It was meant to be based around Umbrella making those weapons. And like I said, by 4, 5, and 6 they had them.
Double time! Back in the mix.
Why do you get out there?
So yeah, we lost that one.
Enemy turret!
and we lost that. But yeah, it was about biological weapons. You know, that's the whole point of Resident Evil games. You know, it's been about that. And like I said, by the 5th and 6th game and 4th, the characters knew kind of what to expect. Like, oh, this company's making these weapons. We know what to expect now. But people, I don't know. They can't understand that. You know, that's the whole point of the game, was to focus on those weapons. And like people said, well, 5 and 6 were too much action and it sucked because I didn't have ink ribbons. You know, it's like the characters just knew. You know, they just knew what to expect by that point. It's following a story. The story is to take down Umbrella, not play with zombies all day long. Even 6 had zombies in it, but see, by that point, they had, by 6 now, you see, 6, they had weaponized the zombies. That creature that could turn people into zombies, you see, they unleashed it on a college campus. It turned everybody into zombies. By that point, they had made it a weapon. You know, before that, they hadn't, you know. But it's hard to talk about that point with Resident Evil fans, because all they want to see is zombies. That's all they care about. That's their high school, middle school level of enjoyment. That's all they know to do is play with zombies. It's like, oh, I gotta have my zombies and ink ribbons. It's like, maybe take for a second, think that Capcom wants to have a story to their game besides just running around going pew 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 to the zombies. And I read another review. He said that what did he say he wanted? He wanted the game to have jump scares. He's like, I miss my jump scares. Resident Evil didn't have that many jump scares, to be honest. I played that game a lot, and I speedrun the original games. They didn't have jump scares. I think the original was a dog that jumped to the window. That's it. I mean, everything else, if you want jump scares, go play Five Nights at Freddy's. Seriously. Yeah, I mean, there are more games you want kindergarten jump scares, you know. But I mean, for some people, that's all they can think about, you know. Like I said, at least just for me, at least just focus on something else besides zombies, you know, because that's not. There is more to the game than just zombies, like I was saying. But there's a lot to the game, and I'm looking forward to 7 because trying to watch the trailers and everything, it seems like it has a lot going on. So I'm hoping it turns out good. But you know, I don't know. It's tough. But yeah, that was just a little rant.